We are now live with severe weather coverage. For today's risk, it's a relatively high risk. And I have just received word for Jefferson, Rock, and Walworth County. There is a tornado warning that was just issued. That would be this bubble right here. So just the northern portion of Walworth County. If I have any viewers in Walworth, I do know they activate all the sirens for the county. I've been there when they do it. It's minor rotation, but spotters are reporting that there is a funnel cloud. So despite the minor rotation, this storm does have a tornado with it. There goes bunch of alerts. There is a tornado watch, and we lost coverage for just a minute. I don't know what happened, but I do know that we lost the coverage. But we are back. That watch, if it cut out before I said, this watch is in effect now until 11 p.m. The National Weather Service in Chicago does say storms could potentially go north, but there is also a chance that they move more closer to Chicago. This is not what I want. This is another storm we're watching. There is minor rotation if you look. I don't think I have my cursor enabled, so I will fix that. If you look right around where I'm circling, you can see that there is some minor rotation, and that severe thunderstorm warning is for a tornado possible, I believe. It's what that little red line means in between there. 70-mile-per-hour winds. Yes, tornado possible, considerable damage caused by that wind. Right now, though, I believe I'll be focusing attention more on this storm. This seems to be the most concerning. Lee and Ogle County. I have it set up to show alerts, but it's not showing alerts, so I'm just going to take that away. Lee and Ogle County now have a severe thunderstorm warning, which will pop up in likely a minute, just as I was about to focus on a different storm. Believe this area is Lee and Ogle, so it's headed right near Joliet. Right, where is Lee and Ogle? Moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Okay. Considerable tornado possible. Actually, this might be the Lee and Ogle one. Oh, no. Oh, yes, this is Lee and Ogle. Bureau and Putnam County. So that would be down here. Also under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it does not look like it will be producing a tornado. There is no rotation associated with that storm. These storms do move fast, though. Current expected movement is 50 to 60 miles per hour. Oh, that's the same one that we just had. They just put it out for a different portion of that. Also down here is another tornado warning. Doesn't look like there's anything going on, but that is something to watch. Well, I'm going to focus my attention here on this specific warning as it is the most concerning. The National Weather Service did issue an update. Now through 9 o'clock, they're expecting storm arrival in Chicago around 8 p.m. I'm going to put that up on the screen now that we have official word from them. The National Weather Service Now saying in level 1, that includes Chicago, storms will advance eastward, and while some will weaken after 8 p.m. being possible, the threat's expected to continue through the evening, damaging winds capable of downing tree limbs, and a few tornadoes are possible. While I'm here, because I can still see alerts even when I'm not on the radar, I would like to look the Storm Prediction Center to go over the risk, since we do not have any major tornadoes. I don't believe it's any major tornado. There is one on the ground, like I said, so we'll continue to watch that storm. This is the enhanced risk for severe storms currently out. The storms are moving through this little area there, that's 10%, now moving into that 5%, which includes Chicago. Main hazard there is the wind hazard. They do issue an update around 8 p.m. right as storms would be occurring. So it's definitely something to watch out, because they could definitely issue a major update. Looking at the models, this is simulated reflectivity, analyzed just a little while ago. Storm arrival. This one supports less of an 8 a.m. or yeah, it does support an 8 a.m. 9 a.m. is O2Z. But the storms are moving faster than this model projects. There is some instability, but then there is some question as to if storms would be able to form. But they do have significant instability as they move through in the upper atmosphere, which is generally what's supporting that. There is also now for LaSalle County a severe thunderstorm warning. Yes, this is the supercell composite. Level 2 means there's an okay chance, nothing major. This is the significant tornado. It signals 1.7 at O'Hare. Now, the one thing about this that you have to know, if it shows 1, it means a tornado is a lot more likely. If it gets closer to 2 to 3, that means stronger tornadoes. But this is always just a chance for those tornadoes. These show swaths of hail that would move through the area as well. Lightning density. Not as much lightning as you'd expect. But I do want to show, in total, we're not going to see as much rainfall with this storm. We've already seen 6.8 inches of rain today. But as storms do arrive, they could put down more. Definitely a tornado threat. This was issued super early in the day. There is a threat for severe storms tomorrow. I would not go live for that. It is marginal, very low risk for those storms. I am looking, though, to see if the Storm Prediction Center would end up putting Chicago under that watch. I would not see any reason why they wouldn't, because both the office and the Storm Prediction Center recognize the risk of storms, which means that generally they would issue that. But I would like to go back to our alerts. This storm does look like it's weakening a bit, no longer showing as much rotation as it once did. However, if this updated, it's still got great rotation on there. Well, not great, but it's still showing rotation. If you look here, it's kind of producing that bowing line, which does show that there is a wind threat associated with this storm as of right now. Just, keeping an eye out with this, because it is slightly quiet. It's definitely not quiet. This area, the Marshall and East Central Stark County, so just Marshall and Central, Looks like still a tornado warning. Not much, though. Not a lot of impressive rotation to be seen. One second. But yeah, these storms could spin up tornadoes very quickly. There is another warning. Oh, that's Michigan. I don't do Michigan. And I probably wouldn't expand to Michigan either. And as always, there are open to questions, comments, concerns as the storm moves closer. I would love for this to update quicker, but it doesn't. That's just how the radar works. The National Weather Service has a much more quicker updating radar on their end. And disable the past storm tracks. Looking here, they have canceled that warning for the older areas. Looks like rotation would be right over Cold Spring if there's still a tornado. Because they haven't updated and I wouldn't expect them to update that often. But there is that weather spotters reporting funnel cloud, so they might end up reporting a tornado that was actually put down on the storm, but we're still not sure exactly if the tornado was put down. Right where my cursor is, I'm going to put it up here actually, that would be what heads for Chicago, if anything did head for Chicago, which again, we're expecting that to come get Chicago eventually, likely within the next hour or so. I'd expect to start seeing warnings for that area. That's why I like to start early, also because I cover a larger area, even though my largest area is... I'm going to mute that. That was just an alert for a tornado watch. We can listen in.
Tornado watch number 89 has been extended until 11 p.m. and expanded to include the following counties in Illinois: Cook, DuPage, Lake, and Will. Remember, a tornado watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including tornadoes, large hail, and
Love the
damaging
jump
winds
scare.
in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Tornado watch number...
And that was just the alert for the tornado watch. Love how that jump scares you. That's the point when it's tornadoes at night. I would suggest buying a NOAA Weather Radio. Yes, tornado watch for Cook, DuPage. I'm just waiting for the Storm Prediction Center to update. Just moments ago, I did call that they would end up putting that out for the area. And this is an extension of the watch. They're not going to update it just yet. However, currently, the graphic is warning for high threat for tornadoes, moderate threat for EF2+, high threat for severe wind, moderate 65 knot plus, that's about 70 miles per hour. Moderate severe hail, 2-inch plus hail is also moderate risk. Same as severe hail though. Actually, this has an watch status report is what, I just realized you have to do that for watch status. Counties include, and it still has not updated. I'm going to start to get a lot more alerts on my end about that. There is a different source though, and the stream briefly cut out for a second. We're back now. They have not updated either. It came out so quickly that they could not update the watch just yet. Marshall, Peoria, and Woodford counties now are under another severe, that was just this one. There's all my alerts. Now this tornado watch, I believe, is in effect until 11 p.m. But severe storms should have moved out by then. Now we're kind of just waiting for something else to happen. Checking in on this storm near Princeton. Nothing major. Yes, I did see that there was a lot of rain and thunderstorms in Puerto Rico. I did also see there were a couple flood alerts in Puerto Rico, at least earlier today. Thinking about flood alerts, I do know portions of Cook County along the Des Plaines River are under an alert for the potential for flooding through Thursday or Sunday. Today's Thursday. Looking back at this storm near Milwaukee, I'm going to move this to the Milwaukee radar. And that would give us a far better update. This gives us a way better update. I forgot that I could change radars. You can see there's a little hookish right here that we have going. A little bit of rotation. I would assume if they no longer are reporting that there's a funnel cloud. 6:54 p.m. They updated. It is canceled. The warning has been canceled. I think that's mentioning the wrong area. I don't know why this system does that, but it does anyway. Yes, now they are only specifying tornado possible with this storm. Again, just take shelter anyway. It's always good to take shelter. The Marshall and East Central tornado warning has been expired and not allowed to continue. And I don't actually think I've talked about what a watch is on this channel. A watch just means that there is a chance for severe weather to happen, and with our current risk, it appears a little bit more likely that severe weather would happen. Tornado warning for Rock County. That's just this warning, and oh, they issued a new warning. This was such weak rotation, I could not see that. Going back there, it's nearly invisible. Right where my cursor is, you can see that I don't have a pen tool for some reason. I don't like that I don't have a pen tool. But you can see there's minor rotation. There is nothing reported though yet, but if you are living in Janesville or anywhere in this warning, just take shelter. It's not going to kill you to take shelter. And if you know anybody in the risk area, which is a lot of people, I think there's over 30 million people, share this live stream, I should say, as we focus more on this area. You can see that wind is also going to be a threat with this again, thanks to the kind of bit of Boeing segment. I'm pointing at my computer like you're all going to see what I point at. Fort Atkinson is just in a weird spot. It's in between two tornado warnings and a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning. If you live there, just watch out, I'd say. Coming back to the Chicago radar, it looks like they allowed this warning to severe thunderstorm warning for Walworth County was issued. Some things alert me faster. I'm in Walworth a lot. That's why I'm signed up to get messages. This area I would still maybe keep under a warning. There we go, the Walworth one. Oh, wait, that is already. There we go. Now I'm going to explain. Well, it's slightly. Well, first we have to look at Several.
To 12 feet.
I think that includes
And
Cook
okay.
County. I'm going to cover up my radio. They just put that out as I was about to talk about how we should probably have that
5 to 10 knots early in the afternoon.
changed. Just as I was about to say that should change, they put that out now, warning for tornado possible in southeastern Ogle, northern DeKalb, northern Kane, McHenry, all of it, and southern Boone County. Primary hazards with this are going to be 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail, so little small hail. Tornado possible, considerable damage possible with this storm. And then I'm just going to briefly talk about this one for Walworth. I actually do know I have a viewer in Elkhorn, so if they are watching, I know they will be in this area. Remain alert for possible tornado. Considerable damage. Quarter size, I think that's quarter. Penny-sized hail. 70-mile-per-hour winds there. Issued by National Weather Service, Milwaukee. Encoding over. Okay. No, that was just, there was a different problem for. So this is going to slow down a bit, so you'll get alerts a little later than I'd like you to. But now I'm going to explain what this is. On the top left corner, that's the reflectivity. That's what you usually see on streams with real weather. Well, not real, but news stations. That's what you normally see. The top right, you also see sometimes. That is velocity. That tells me the wind speed of pretty much just the wind speed of what's the precipitation, I should say. So what's in the storm. And it tells me how fast it's going. It can help you identify a tornado, but sometimes it can't. Bottom left, that's correlation coefficient. If you've taken math, you know that this is pretty much just telling you how far apart from being perfectly equal is it. And then bottom right is vertically integrated liquid. That gives me just a better idea of hail and possibly tornado damage that's being wafted in the air. Be honest, I feel like they might end up issuing a tornado warning. Over here near Belvedere, do we have bow echoes? Yes, that is what this area is. This little area, that is a bow echo, signifying damaging winds. Again, down here, several areas of bow echoes. Checking back in on our Janesville storm, you can see weak rotation there. Definitely hail in that storm. Wind fronts, yes. Yes, wind fronts. Ooh. Weather spotters reported a funnel cloud near Footville. If you live around there, or if you know anybody around there, share this. Share this with everybody you know, I'd say, in general, just because of the risk of severe storms. They have confirmed that there's at least a funnel cloud. If that will become something, I'm not sure yet. It looks like it could drop something down, though. I'm going to quickly come back in just a moment. I have returned from my very quick gap. Another alert for Walworth. That's just continuously updating me for that. am going to switch this over, though, to Chrome to look at our threat again. I think they should have updated the tornado watch graphic by now, which they did not. Not shocking. Not shocked with that. So, probably just the same threats. Oh, the National Weather Service website didn't even update. Oh, now they did. It did. You can see what warnings they have out. DeKalb and LaSalle counties now have a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me see. Yeah, the SPC still is not updated. Yet, at least. Storm's expected to arrive. Definitely does support the 8 o'clock arrival. Let's look at what we're seeing. In Chicago, it's actually a lot higher of numbers that we see than what's actually there. And this does look like it would support significant tornado. It definitely does look like it would support significant tornado. These storms that move through too, all of it would support a tornado as they move through. So things will likely start to ramp up in a little while. So I would definitely stay on to the stream to continue getting that update. Let me see. I would expect right here could potentially strengthen, then moving in. Again, I do see a tornado possibly being issued for Belvedere in the next couple minutes. Indiana, don't cover Indiana. Yeah, definitely a lot going on with these storms, at least as of right now. These storms can eventually definitely get strong enough for those severe storms to really fire. I'm going to focus a lot more on this Belvedere storm as it gets stronger. Lost streaming there for a second. But it does look like we should be back live now. That tornado warning up here will be allowed to expire with a new severe thunderstorm warning there. Janesville, it does look like Does look like probably just a funnel. I don't think there would be much else to have shown. Yeah, because there's some sign of rotation here, but nothing major. An update was issued just a little while ago, continuing that, but this was almost 6 minutes ago. I expect it would be allowed to expire. Still watching that near Elgin storm going up to the Wisconsin border. That one, I think, this storm, I think we would have the best chance for a tornado out of LaSalle and Livingston County. Is this the just issued one? 706. There was just a new alert issued, however, it's not showing up on here. Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye out for. Let's see. Oh, what did I do? Yeah, it's a bit quiet right now as we wait. Oh, the National Weather, they did update that tornado watch I was talking about earlier to include us. They do remain high risk, moderate threat for EF2 plus, not taking that away. Yes, 70% probability. Oh. Is that the same warning or a new one? Oh yeah, this is an outdated one. Definitely watching. Tornado risk a little bit less in that storm that's now east of Belvedere. But still something to keep an eye on as we watch this storm. County. Checking back in with the National Weather Service. Still no update from them. I wouldn't expect it, though. Jefferson, Rock, and Walworth under a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's this one. It's this weird one that you can barely see. That's the new warning that they put out. Now Fort Atkinson, I hope I'm saying that right, Atkinson, is under that. They probably won't continue that tornado warning, though. So nothing to be super watching about. I pushed a button. I don't know what I am doing. What am I doing? think I'm still live. Okay, I am. There's something just came up and it's done something with the... There we go. Did something weird on my end so that it looked like I wasn't streaming, even though I was. This one no longer looks like it would really support a tornado. Maybe up here, just a bit northwest of Marengo, you might see that possibly them putting out a tornado warning, though still seems a bit not like they would do that yet. Yeah, definitely in the future they may. I'm gonna quickly leave this for just a moment as we just I'm gonna quickly grab something real quick. I'm gonna get another water. I am back now. That was just a real quick, very quick break as we continue to watch these storms that are moving through. I'm going to pull up and try to see if I can get storm reports pulled up. I don't know why I enabled alerts here, because the weather alert thing is not working at all for me. See if I can pull up the storm reports, see what people are reporting here. Remember where I found it on here. Search for warnings, data sets. I always have a hard time searching through this specific website that I'm looking at to try and find their storm report page, because I would like to see who's reporting what. Any storms? No, not yet, but they do look like they are heading that way. This is watch number 89 or 88. No update there from them. Jason. I really can't find their local storm reports. Let's check back in on that storm near Marengo. Probably not going to put down a tornado. Seems to be weakening enough so that they're at least going to keep that it would form a tornado, possibly. I don't know why this is so hard to find their reports, but it is. Observation, climatology. Let me see. I can't find it for some reason. No new warnings since the 6 minutes ago. Rock, Jefferson, Walworth, Waukesha. but that was like a weirdly placed one. Share this stream with anybody you know in this area. It's a large area. Then we've got alerts in Michigan as well, in Indiana. These storms, as they move through, may at least potentially put down a tornado as they start moving into a very active environment. Yeah. Nothing has come out yet from anybody since that tornado watch, really. No new update. Which is always... I always want to get an update because that's... You need to get updates from them. I thought I just found the... I found the storm report page. There's a lot of them. Zooming in. There's been nothing reported in any of the currently ongoing storms except for that one funnel in Walworth Rock, that area. This storm's definitely going to do some wind stuff as that heads up north. Yes, nothing new. Oh, that tornado warning up there, the one that they said had a funnel, is being allowed to expire as well. The most recent report, as of right now, was in Ogle almost 20 minutes ago, reporting some hail, 1-inch hail. That would be about up here. That storm no longer really looks like it would put down a tornado for a little while at least. If I had to focus anywhere, I would probably put my focus here on these storms as they start moving up into the Chicago metro. As they start, let's check out the model on my end, see what it's thinking. Still agrees with that 8 p.m. arrival. Actually interpreting. It is interpreting strong, or at least a chance of a tornado. Shouldn't say strong though yet. We do have this cell, this one away from, or close to Sandwich. This was reported, it went unnoticed for 7 minutes by me, that, or, well, we said it changed direction. According to this, the storm will arrive into this area. I'm actually going to pull up a different website I use, and that will provide some pretty good timing. This has its own timing platform for it as we watch the severe weather occur. It also does do an auto detect feature for the speed, so I won't have to do that. The cell is about right here, about up there. This storm would be expected in Chicago in about 1.2 hours, about around the time that we'd expect. We were expecting it, Schaumburg 51 minutes, Aurora in 28. And I am hearing a bit of an issue with my microphone. I'm going to try to fix it. Okay, I want to see if this... I'm going to try to fix this microphone issue real quick. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, now I can hear it working again. As we try, oh, I could show you the models. The HRRR, great model. This shows 9 p.m. However, warnings would probably go out around 8. And actually, that 1.2 hours would place us very closely around 9 p.m. as expected with that strong storm that may potentially put down a tornado. There's a good chance for a tornado. However, wind still remains the primary threat with this storm. There's good shear, which is rotation in the atmosphere. It helps the storm spin. Great instability, which helps storms form, which they've already formed. It's expected to be 63 around the time of storm arrival. And dew points in the 60s. So that's very supportive for those severe thunderstorms that would occur in the area. Going back to National Weather Service to Chicago, as we briefly do have a calm period for those of you just joining. Currently expected to arrive around 8 p.m. to start hitting the more immediate area of the Chicago metro. That's when warnings would likely go out, damaging winds capable of downing tree limbs, as well as a few tornadoes being possible with this storm. While none of the storms are showing rotation at the moment, they could tap into that atmosphere and put down a tornado at any point. Closed out of my alert thing, so I don't know if we have any new alerts. Fix that. No currently new alerts. Just in Indiana. I don't cover Indiana, really. This is an enhanced risk for severe storms driven. Now it's being in the wind area. However, there's a decent chance storms put down a tornado in this area. As we watch, they did discontinue that severe thunderstorm warning. However, it looks like it does have the potential to restabilize itself. Oh, no, they did put that out. They've just reissued it for very large area. Kendall County, northern LaSalle, northern Will, southern DeKalb, northwestern Grundy, southern Kane, and western DuPage until 8:15. Severe thunderstorms were located around or near Sandwich. Walworth County again being put under that severe thunderstorm warning. There's been like 6 different severe thunderstorm warnings in the hour I've streamed for Walworth County. Remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from these storms. Considerable damage possible. This is just a standard base severe, so I will now be focusing primarily on the storms expected now in just the near hour or so. For Chicago, definitely looks like that could put down a tornado. It's, of course, a threat. It never guarantees that we'd see one. I'm going to go back to that mesoanalysis. That should be updated now. For the current hour, we can get a good look at what potentially we might see with these storms. It's cold where I am. Go in here, hover right over O'Hare. The significant tornado threat parameter, 2.1, that's very high. The supercell composite is at 7.5. The ML Cape, that is the instability in the atmosphere. That's a little lower, but it's still in range. Effective shear is in a generally good area. There's higher helicity, which is another version of the spin in the atmosphere, which could then bring a potential severe threat. That would be what drives this severe thunderstorm threat as we move into the next hour or so. These storms are in very capable tornado areas. Any storm could likely put down a tornado in the coming hour. I'm going to quickly go off camera for just a moment as I'm freezing, so I'm going to go get a sweater. I have returned now. No new update. Doesn't look like. However, it does look like those storms are beginning to start to show some signs of rotation. Let's see, when is this? Still watching that storm in Sandwich for the damaging winds. No updates, just mostly hail that's being watched, starting some rotation as it moves through the area. Marshall and Woodford County back under that. Back under a severe thunderstorm warning. I believe that's way down here until 8:30. Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, also under that severe thunderstorm warning. Located near Ripon. I don't believe I cover Fond du Lac, though. That's way up. It's way up. Main storm we'd be watching right now is this one. So we're kind of just waiting for this to happen. Again, National Weather Service. Lake and McHenry County now under a tornado warning. Give it a minute to update with that tornado warning for Lake and McHenry counties. That would be right here. So I guess they now think that that storm is capable of producing a tornado as soon as this map displays that. Take cover now if you are in Lake or McHenry County. I'm waiting for the warning to actually display. This can be a little slow at times to display those warnings. But the storm will be was located near Hebron to McHenry. So that rotating storm would be, once this comes up, to McHenry, over here. So this broader area, Kenosha, Wisconsin, also now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, it did pop up. Right around here, that is where the tornado warning is currently for. Take shelter if you are anywhere in there. There is no tornado threat for Kenosha, however. Although I think they still are warning for... Oh, no, there is a tornado threat there. It just wasn't displaying correctly. Let me pull up the system that will tell you when the storms arrive in your specific area. Oh, yeah. I see what they're doing, because they can't. The polygon would look more like a rectangle, but they can't issue anything for areas in Wisconsin, which is why this area looks so weird. National Weather Service Chicago will likely put out that alert. Storm expected near Zion in 23 minutes, Pleasant Prairie in 24 if the tornado threat holds. We continue to watch this storm. We are actually, I'm going to go get an update concerning, I want to get one for this storm over here, because that is producing some, okay, this storm is expected to arrive in Elmhurst in 29 minutes, Norwich in 36, Des Plaines in 37 minutes. And it's about the estimated timing, the arrival of storms for the area. Grundy, Kendall, LaSalle, and Livingston back under a severe thunder. This is not Grundy, LaSalle. Oh, no, this is. This also LaSalle. This is the one. Also, they're warning for that. However, this would be the storm I would most likely. Milwaukee, Washington, Waukesha, severe thunderstorm warning. Standard severe, so. Special marine warning also for that area. As we await further updates from the National Weather Service on this particular storm. that is moving through. Indiana. There is now a severe thunderstorm warning for Indiana. And this Aurora storm near Aurora, I should say, does now look like it may produce at least a funnel cloud. But we will have to wait and see what that does. Extensive straight line wind damage is possible in this area as we continue to watch it. Probably not going to put down a tornado, but it definitely might. The atmosphere is capable of it. Wait, this little area of rotation. There's actually several little areas of rotation, but nothing major enough to expect anything to, yeah, not much to at least expect anything specific. Well, the radar's... Ooh, what did the radar do? Okay, there we go. So we await the next update from the radar on this storm. Latest storm reports indicate that there was multiple tree damage and that one warning in McHenry. It's the latest that we have. No update yet from the National Weather Service about the storm. Sure, they're gonna, this one I think they're gonna cancel because I don't really see there being at all. I would still take shelter nevertheless. Lindenhurst, new updates. Yes, we're just awaiting their update for this storm. Update's a little slower. I don't know why it's still in precipitation mode. No new severe thunderstorm warning since the last one that I talked about in Wisconsin several minutes ago. Oh yeah, it's cut a little. That Aurora storm does, though, still look like it's attempting to rotate.
Miles.
There is now multiple
Impact. Small craft could be damaged and briefly higher winds and suddenly higher waves.
there are multiple special marine warnings now out in effect. They'll likely put out a severe thunderstorm warning for Cook County shortly, if I had to guess. Yeah, there we go. There's that special marine warning there. That does discuss some threats. They're not thinking that they would get hail by the time it reaches there, but there would be briefly higher winds and sudden waves as the storm approaches. And this storm does still look like it will attempt to put down a tornado. And you can very clearly see the wind threat involved with this. I'd say about right there would be where the tornado would form, around near Sugar Grove. Actually, now maybe down near Aurora. I had to guess they're holding off on issuing any additional warnings just because it's not yet there, but multiple cells expected to move through the area. Checking back in on that tornado warning up here. The warning has been canceled for part of the area. Still a severe squall line capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line winds in McHenry. So still got to watch that. This storm still looks like it's going to try at least to put down a tornado. Will it successfully do so? Not sure about that, but it does look like it will at least try to. Storms are expected now to begin its arrival within the next little while for Chicago. Really, the main focus now of the night would be this specific storm. There's no other storm in the area nicer. As we continue to watch these storms move through, these are the primary concerns for the night. Don't know why this won't let me, it won't read out for me the exact wind speeds that are expected, but that's okay. Disable that alert display. Do expect that a severe thunderstorm warning will be issued for the area in front of that polygon in the next little while. Switch over, we're going to get another time estimate on these storms now that we've had a bit of time to move through. This is where the polygon shows, but storms are actually moving a bit more in this direction. Storm arrival would be Bensonville in 19 minutes, Des Plaines in just about 25 minutes, potentially a little bit earlier. I'm going to switch over to this radar now that it no longer seems necessary for the other one. Again, there is some rotation in this area. Actually, I do have a pen tool now. Around here is where the rotation is right now expected. How does Marengo look? Marengo right now is... I know it's over here. It's right here. It's just about to be exited from that severe thunderstorm warning. Nothing else expected. Maybe some more rain, but no severe. And this tornado warning is probably going to be allowed to expire very soon. Yeah. This does show a couple small areas of rotation. Still waiting on the latest update from the National Weather Service for that radar. There is a flood warning, however, right here, or flood advisory, I should say. Just warning for a bit of flooding. The SPC should have updated it now with their latest outlook. Let's see what they think. Which is they don't think anything right now. Still not issuing any new outlook.
So shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
There is now a severe thunderstorm warning for Cook County, damage threat considerable, tornado possible. This is the main focus storm for the area. I will allow this to play.
Eastern Illinois until 9 p.m. At 8:02 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Schaumburg to near Shorewood, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. Hazard, 70 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Locations impacted include Chicago, Aurora, Joliet, Naperville, Cicero, Hammond, Arlington Heights, Evanston, Schaumburg, Bolingbrook, Skokie, Des Plaines, Orland Park, Tinley Park, Oak Lawn, Berwyn, Mount Prospect, Wheaton, Hockman Estates, Oak Park, Downers Grove, Glenview, Elmhurst, Lombard, and Bartlett. Remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 11 p.m. for northeastern Illinois.
There was our severe thunderstorm warning for Cook County. Now, the primary threat again, wind, hail, and a threat for tornadoes all at once. This storm does show numerous areas of potential rotation within it. This is their latest outlook. And they have now downgraded from the... That's a glitch. Or no, it's not anymore. This used to be a glitch. Now it is no longer a glitch. Their main threat is 30% probability of wind, 5%, but it's a conditional 1, which means there's the threat for stronger tornadoes as this moves through Chicago. We're going to have to closely watch mainly the velocity radar, as that will give us the best idea of if a tornado would form. Several areas of rotation possible for this area all along here. It does look like there is at least some rotation. Is it enough to be a tornado? Maybe not, but there is definitely a little bit that's in there. There goes all the alerts. This was just updated a little bit to accompany that. Now with this rotation that I've circled, that area, going off the direction this goes, this would be the estimated time of arrival for those storms. Expected near O'Hare in about 27 minutes, the rotation, as these storms continue. Mostly just gotta watch this area now. Still some rotation with that storm. First rain expected in about 20 minutes. Elmhurst. How does Elmhurst look? As soon as I find it, I'll show you. Elmhurst, right here. Looks like it would mostly be impacted by the wind threat. However, rotation could eventually move up. Towards there. Now that all the storms have kind of calmed down, this warning is probably going to be expired in 6 minutes. They're going to allow it to expire. So this is the main storm of concern at this point in time. This is another good radar. This is the O'Hare radar, which does show less rotation, but it's also showing some rotation further up ahead. So will it form a tornado? Probably not. But there is still the threat. The stream, I believe, briefly cut out. But we're back. Just mostly waiting for that update on this meso-analysis that should be coming in the next few minutes and give a good idea of what the storms might bring. Oh, it was about to update. I don't know why it didn't, but it was about to. As we just, now it's just a lot of waiting as we wait to see what storms will do. I'm going to switch this over to the O'Hare radar. And you can really see there's a lot of rotation, low-level rotation over here. I would not be surprised if the National Weather Service put out a tornado warning as a precaution for this area over here. I am going to briefly leave, but I will leave this displayed, and I'm actually going to circle circled in the red zone. That is where we are watching. I will be back in just a few moments. I am back. Once the video capture pulls itself up. It'd be this, again, same area we are now watching. Low-leveled rotation that's continuing. Now, I don't know what the National Weather Service would do if they were to issue a warning. It would be about right here. I'd set that warning about there. And a lot of people don't like using the O'Hare radar, but it gives you a good idea of what's happening. More on the low level side. The hourly mesoanalysis did release. Still an environment capable of producing a tornado. So I would not be shocked. I would actually put Lombard and Elmhurst under a tornado warning. The rotation does appear to continue as the radar updates. I would probably, if I were to put out a tornado warning, more or less be because this storm can spin up something. Which spin-ups happen quickly. You don't notice them. There's only one tilt level. So we'll continue to watch that area as the potential for spin-up tornadoes begins. I'm going to quickly get a timing again. Oh, that's the measure tool I pulled out. I want the storm track tool. Place rotation right here, moving about there. Moving at 63 miles per hour very quickly. Can arrive in Morton Grove in about 15 minutes. Glenview 16. Norwich 11, Park Ridge 12, O'Hare 8. So if they're going to issue a warning, they're going to have to issue it shortly for a tornado. This rotation, it's broad rotation, but this storm can produce very quick spin-ups. And this is actually spin-ups behind the line. Rain's supposed to arrive in just a few moments. There is our latest reflectivity out from the National Weather Service. Actually, though, I would probably now trust more this as this storm begins to hit O'Hare right around now. Doesn't look like a large tornado threat, if any, but it does look like wind is going to be the primary concern. Actually, it does look like there is some rotation near Bensonville. right where the storm's over. That rotation continues too. So just in a couple seconds probably, the wind is going to pick up. Very broad rotation. Rotation nonetheless.
Expected.
So possibly a tornado warning coming in the next few minutes. This scan was taken just 2 minutes ago, so rain will likely arrive in the next few minutes. Yeah, this is showing an area of rotation right here. So it'll be and there's a hook with it as well. So gotta very closely pay attention, because that might spin up something. Quickly go off camera for just a moment. Go outside and take a look at what we're seeing. I will, however, circle the area we're watching where it's going. All right, and this storm has just arrived by me. We are still watching the area, very broad rotation. Watching that again, still some broad rotation. Now over part. That is just a severe thunderstorm warning update.
The National Weather Service in Chicago has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Will County in northeastern Illinois, southeastern Cook County in
That's the southern portion of the county. For a moment, I thought that was a tornado warning. That is Cook and Will County. Rain likely to arrive in the next. Has arrived just now. Just arrived to me now. Still watching that small little area of rotation for the potential to spin up a tornado. Quickly go off camera, as the rotation will likely be right over me right around now. All right, it may be putting down potentially a brief spin up, as that's common with this storm. Pouring rain in the just near O'Hare, just past O'Hare. It will likely end in the next few minutes, however. So I will end this stream here because as of right now, brief spin-ups, but nothing major. So thank you for watching this live stream.